I'm Andrew Lester. I'm 49 years old and I am definitely a music enthusiast. A bit of a obsessive when it comes to my collection, music and guitars, and bass guitars, and drums, and keyboards. So the whole 9 yards. I got started in music years and years ago, just as a kid listening to different albums. Kiss was probably the biggest impact on me when I was 10 years old. I was the oldest of three boys, and so I didn't really have an older brother or sister to kind of impact me. So I was always listening to what my friends' older brothers or older sisters listened to. That's how you hear new bands, back in the mid-'70s. But my love of music has continued to grow and really added to me becoming a musician on the side, just as a hobby. But I'm passionate about finding different types of music. The bands that I'm into, it took me a long time to find a lot of them on CD. Initially, back in the old days, you had albums and you had 8 tracks, for those of you who remember what those are, cassettes, and then the CDs came out about the mid-'80s. So I had a lot of albums, a lot of 8 tracks, a lot of cassettes, but in the mid-'80s, I had a big case of cassettes that were stolen. I had about 360, and it came out one night when I was working in high school. Somebody broke into my car and stole my music. So I was stuck with nothing, right? So these new CD things came out. So what are CDs? So I got into to try to rebuild my initial collection that I had lost on compact disc. And that wasn't always that easy, because a lot of the music and a lot of the albums didn't immediately make the transition from LP or cassette to CD. And some of them took a number of years. Actually, I think one that took 15 years before it finally came out on CD. But as I got more and more into music, got into college, listened to a lot of different styles. I was always heavily into progressive music, progressive rock, and even progressive country. Anything that was really done well. So I would look around trying to get a complete collection of the albums by bands that I liked. Or again, trying to rebuild the collection that I had lost. So as more and more as you're trying to hunt down kind of rare and hard to find CDs, it really became somewhat of an obsession with me. As I would get out and working, I was on the road quite a bit, so I'd have some time to always look around in a record store or a music store, and the internet didn't exist back then, and eBay didn't. So it was kind of a hobby, looking for all these things. But my collection has continued to grow and grow and grow and grow, so I've got more stuff than I have places to put it. Now you can hold everything on your iPhone. I think I probably need 3 terabytes to transfer all the stuff I've got. It's that much. But as much as I was crazy about music, also about musical instruments, playing guitar, playing bass guitar, keyboards. So I've got a pretty good collection of guitars as well. Different style guitars, different style music. Some are hollow bodies, some are solid body electrics, some are acoustic. It just depends on the brand, the type of guitar. But it's fun to collect. It's fun to look for different things. Not so much of a historical value, but it may be a re-release of a guitar that was fairly rare one time, very popular 20, 30 years ago. So it's fun to do. But for me, the thing about collecting is not just having them on a wall or in a box. You play them. Anything that I've been interested in, I want to be able to use. I'll listen to my music. I'll play my guitars. Keep it in the box doesn't really do me any good. So maybe that's hypocrisy for people who have collections and never take it out of the box, but that's the whole point in having it, in my opinion, is to enjoy it. So it's something I've tried to pass along to my kids. As they've gotten older, they certainly have gotten into their own styles of music, but when they were young, I tried to get them into what I listened to. What I listen to is always good. What you like is good, what everyone else likes sucks, right? So my music was good, and I wanted them to listen to that. And they did for a while, but they were able to grow beyond that, get into what their friends were into, and just really expand around. But the same thing, trying to get them interested in musical instruments, and that was met with varying degrees of success, I suppose. But I've always told them that someday when I kick the bucket and go, I don't know if I'm going to will them all my collection. Maybe I just put it in a museum or a library so other people can listen to it and enjoy it too. But it's been a fun journey for me, because music's always been very much a part of my life. I'm very visual in how I hear music. So if I still hear one song, it always makes me think where I was the first time I heard that, or different scenes will come into my mind, more than just hearing the music. So it's something that definitely is a part of my life every day, and things that certainly keep me occupied as I've gotten older, and sort of a big hobby for me. Jack, play guitar. I'm a rock and roll dog. Yay! Make sure I don't.